Deputy Leader of the United Workers' Party, Claudia Sanford, is supporting moves by the UWP to file an injunction as relates to the vacancy of the Salisbury and Marigot seats. Mr. Sanford tells Kairifm News that the situation lacks clarity and those expected to give directions were unclear.
So I believe the injunction will decide what direction that goes, and if there is a by-election, most obviously the United Workers' Party will win the 2 seats. So that is the one of the strongest areas of United Workers' Party. We are confident that we will keep the seat. There's nothing that will change because in these 2 areas, these 2 communities, they continue to safeguard the democracy of Dominica. They continue to lead the way in independence and economic well-being. If you notice the 2 agricultural belts where we have Salisbury, who has produced, significantly agricultural sector over the years, keeping and adding much value to the Dominican economy. I believe it's a culture of hard work and industry that has surfaced in these 2 areas who have fought the whole idea of handouts and the dependency culture that has been perpetuated by the Roosevelt administration. By election, if the injunction doesn't hold, that we will win the seat and we will continue to serve the people in Parliament, because I think the point has been made. It is made clear. I believe the government and the people of Dominica understood why the boycott took place. We need electoral reform. We cannot continue having an election where we have the government side, will accept money from we don't know where forth and bribe the people of the country, use all sorts of trick and injustice in the system of election to maintain power, to protect their own self-interest and so on.
Sanford says the point has been made and after the by-elections, the UWP will return to Parliament.
So I think the point has been made. I believe the United Workers' Party, after the by-election, will go back to Parliament, hoping that within a financial year, that the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance will put what it takes in place so that there will be the process of electoral reform, the ID cards, the cleanup of the electoral list, and the other pillars that we have asked for. If not, I guess the protest will have to be upped to something more, something more serious, because I believe we have campaigned and we have made our point for all of the last 5 years. Even after the general election, I think it's about now that wisdom and democracy should reign, and arrogance and self-interest should take the second lead. There has been cry about the action of the president, and I expected him to act the way he acted. I expect him to sign the writ. I expect him to get involved in whatever he did, because we all know in Dominica that he's a creature of the Labour Party. And right now in Dominica, men of principle are not to be found in high offices. So I believe the protest or the battle that the UWP has put up is a winning one. It might not show all the faces right now, but the people will come to realize that it was worth fighting for, and I believe our point has been made clearly.
Deputy Leader of the United Workers' Party, Claudia Sanford. Chief Elections Officer Marina Williams has confirmed that 4 persons have been nominated to contest the July 9 by-election in Marigot and the Salisbury constituencies. Nomination day was held Monday, June 21st in 2 constituencies.
Well, I can confirm that 2 candidates went up in the Marigot constituency. They are Dayton Baptiste and Edison Shenfield James. And in the Salisbury constituency, we have Bentley Tolo Roy and Hector Staggs John. So there will be an election.
Chief Elections Officer Marina Williams. Supporters of the Dominica Labour Party in Marigot could boycott the July 9 by-elections. Former chairman of the Marigot branch of the DLP Constituency Association, Harold Tyson, says he and a number of supporters have taken the decision not to vote at the polls due to the lack of representation by the DLP's choice of candidate, Dayton Baptiste. Mr. Baptiste was Monday nominated to contest the July 9th by-election in Marigot on a DLP ticket.
Constituency members, including me, we have taken a decision not to send up an independent candidate, but what we would do, we would revert to our plan A that we initially planned to boycott the voting because of the fact that a candidate was selected and it's not our choice of candidate, and the gross disrespect that the party in general have had for us over the past time. So yes, of course, it will be going back to our plan A, where we will not be voting, and of course we will discourage as many persons not to vote if needs be, or when the needs are right. But for sure, me personally, I will not be voting, and I believe we need to send a strong message to the electorate that they should not go to the polls, and make these people understand that enough is enough. Both the United Workers' Party and the Labour Party, make them know that enough is enough, and we Marigot people, we will not accept their representation.
Tyson says there could be a low voter turnout for both the DLP and UWP candidates in Marigot on July 9th.
And we do not expect Mr. Baptist to get as much vote as he got the last time. Neither are we expecting Mr. Edison James to get as much vote as he got the last. Because if you walk in the community and you talk to the community persons, you would realize that persons generally saying, I'm not voting again. I'm not going to just throw my vote. I put people to represent me, and they're not representing me. So it's a waste of time going to the polls.
Former chairman of the Marigot branch of the DLP Constituency Association, Harold Tyson. Former Prime Minister and MP for Marigot, Edison James, says he's concerned that there may be irregularities in the July 9 by-elections in two constituencies. Mr. James told Kairifm program broadcast live from Marigot on Monday that cases of bribery have been reported in both Salisbury and Marigot. James has also accused the DLP of issuing monies to Dominicans overseas to return to vote on July 9, a recurrence of the irregularities in the December 18 general elections.
Let me say that the people of Marigot are going to be asked, and they will endorse the position taken by the United Workers' Party, of which I am part, with respect to electoral reform. That is what you're going to see happen here, to the extent that a by-election is in fact held on the 9th. The people of Marigot will endorse the position that we have taken, that we need electoral reform involving the provision and use of ID cards, the cleaning of the list, the question of access to the state-owned media, and the question of bribing. That is a very significant aspect, Alvin, this question of bribery as it pertains to people being brought in here, being paid, their airfares being paid, $1.2 million US being provided for that activity in the last general elections. People are still now being given, attempts being made to give people their little bribing elements in these constituencies. We're hearing about trucks going into the Salisbury constituency with goodies trying to deliver. I'm aware from information given to me that persons in the constituency of Salisbury have already been contacted for tickets to be sent to them to come here. The plan is not to do it by charter, which will give this activity too much exposure, but to send the tickets and the money so that people can buy the tickets and all that. That bribery thing is still very much a factor and a feature, and it is really an affront that while the matter is even in the court, that they're still seeking to do these.
Mr. James says the people of Marigot are determined to endorse the position of the United Workers' Party with respect to the electoral reform being put forward. He says the people of Marigot could soon take to the streets their concerns.
ID cards, the list, the access to the state-owned media, and respect for laws with respect to bribery. That is what the people... Others, let me say to you, I gather from Alvin that you all were not allowed to record what happened in Marigot at the forum on Saturday night, which was promoted very much in your station. But let me say to you, the people at that forum, there was a call for Marigot people to take to the streets if they will not respond to the demands of the people with respect to activities, developmental activities in this area, and the call from the people for the electoral reform. There was a call last night, on Saturday night, for Marigot people to consider taking to the streets. It is irresponsible for us to sit down and deliberately, callously, and pompously ignore the calls of the people. It is not only the people of Marigot, who are calling for this attention to be paid to the legitimate request of the people.
Former Prime Minister and MP for Marigot, Edison James.